Yeah, and then, don't know if you remember the craft where the chicks do the thing with levitating another one, so we did that same thing inside here one night. It was more than 4 of us, it was about, I don't know, 6 to 8, and yeah, we managed to lift the dude all the way from the floor all the way up to the ceiling and then bring him down, tips of the finger.
Just one finger?
It was cool, a bit scary, but it was really powerful.
One finger each, huh?
One finger each like that, just lifting the dude. And down. About 6, 8 of us inside that chapel. It's true, man. Done it. Yeah. So this is a sort of a grotto that you find a lot in some of these properties, Parque da Pena, Quinta da Galera. But when you come in at night, usually do a picnic, like frying a chorizo, having a bit of cheese, bottle of wine. A few years back, a couple of our friends, they were just doing that. You know, nothing usual, just no drugs or anything, just a bit of wine and food, and they just broke down into a deep sleep. They had the car parked right outside the gate. When they woke up really high up in the morning, just keys all right under the car and everything was like wide open. It was a bit weary because they just had to walk all the way to the car, couldn't find the key, came all the way back here, and then when they got to the car, the doors were wide open, and the key was just there. So this is the main thing. So all the sort of these tiny wells converge into this big one called Main d'Água, mother water, some sort of like that. Wait, just a sec. And then, so when it's sort of half empty or when it like creates a huge echo, shout, louder, lá para dentro, grita lá para dentro. Ou subia. So a huge echo all around. So what we used to do, we used to play around with this stone hatch, doing this noise. And one day, I know, out of the blue, there was only 3 of us. We were doing this, and around these, in spring or around summer, there's some really cool flowery bits, and they just started to fall all around us. Not anyone else, not even alongside the whole stretch of trees. It was just like a tiny bit around us, like idyllic. Sort of thank you for this pleasant moment, sort of echo.
All right, now I can hear it.
Then all of a sudden so they're just putting a new sort of vegetation irrigation system, but when that flame thingy happened, it was just covered in woods. It was just really deep wood, and we were just walking from one end of the tower to the other, and just from around this area, just huge tubular flame shaped, 8 meter, whatever, story stuff.
What, tall?
Yeah, just really tall, 8 meter tall, man. It was quite huge, man.
How wide was it?
It was just a tube, as if, I don't know, maybe size of a leg, someone's leg. So like a huge tube just coming out.
All right, so it's quite thin then.
Yeah. So
right.
not too like big flame as if it was a forest fire. It was just one burst.
Go.
So we've been talking about the last couple of days about a lot of voodoo influence because this was a mystical area and a lot of pagan worship. But due to our influence from the Africas with Angolan and then Brazil, all that voodoo, there's a lot of people coming into this place to do their stuff. So you can see a bit of offering here. And over there, 2 vases with some goo. I mean, I'm not sure what was in there, and a few corns on the side. Sometimes it's like a bottle of wine with a cigar, and we've seen actually a circle of fire just all around it, so different stuff. But funny fact or footnote, a few years again, we were chilling on a few boulders just up the hill, and one of these was on top of the boulder. And we were just arriving on the mopeds late at night, teenagers just drinking, smoking, and then all of a sudden there was something weird about the place, eerie, and we were like, dude, there's something in the woods, what's going on? Oh, just leave it, it's just the woods, it's as it is, like forest. So then one of us found this on top of one of the boulders. Just as soon as he touched it or trying to tilt it, the whole wood, it's a packed wood, just the whole thing just went a huge like semicircle. all around us. We got so, you know, it wasn't similar to this. It was more like packed wood like that. So the whole thing just in a semicircle just went.
So you know, around you guys.
know, yeah, just around us, because he just, as soon as he tilted, as soon as he touched that shit, man, and he just bailed it.
So it's basically the goo that got knocked, or what?
Yeah, so I don't know, he touched or he interfered. Oh yeah, later on we were speaking with a mate of ours whose great uncle or whatever from all these small villages. They still do the divination and you know, the sort of witchcraft, medicine man kind of stuff. But anyway, we were describing this situation to him years on, and then he said, well, obviously, you know, you fucked up a macumba, which is a voodoo ritual. So you interfered with the macumba, so that's why the whole place went to pot, and just we got so shit-faced, shit scared that, you know.
So, but why here? Why are they doing it here?
Well,
on the road?
usually they do it on crossroads or higher points that you can just, like, let's say, I can't understand this one because it's like two vases or two goo cups.
So right next to each other.
Yeah, and right behind two trees. So there might be some symbology, but usually it's when there's like 4 crossroads and bang in the middle, because there's like it's a point of energy that gathers. But anyway, this mountain range and another one off the limits of Sintra, there's a lot of like sort of lane line points, magnetic points and energy points that, you know, you're trying to evoke or make these spells work, you know, in a more powerful way.
And tell about the car real quick, you know, the car on the hill. You know,
Yeah,
like
there's a hill that we went when we went to Cabo de Roca, the westernmost point. That you know, it's like a really deep slope. The road just is like really angled, and then you park your car there, you put it on neutral, and all of a sudden, you know, it just starts to just slowly go up the hill. There's another. I've experienced this with a friend of mine, briefly. I mean, it's hard to find the exact spot, but there's the one up north in Bom Jesus de Braga, and I've done it with, you know, it was 4 of us inside the Scenic, and it was like a rough road like this, and we were actually parked, we were actually inclined head first, and the car started to move, crossing boulders and tree roots, like overtaking backwards with that magnetic force, whatever.
So you're parked the other way around?
Yeah, so we were just, we were facing down.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, the car was.
I haven't heard of that before.
Yeah.
I've heard of the car like slip in the right direction, but.
Yeah, we've tried that one, that you just go slowly, or sometimes it slopes. This is the magnetic thing. Apparently it's either a magnetic field in the air, or there's like magnetic rocks or rock formations. Mostly here it's granite and big boulders, granite boulders and some sandstone closer to the sea, so not much aluminium or whatever heavy metals in there to create.
Well, I think there's Magnet Man in the car.
Okay, so VJ was starving, he was starting to pull a tantrum, he nearly kicked us all out of the woods.
He went whoosh!
And all of a sudden, you know, I've been telling Lasco about all this stuff, that it's like mystical area, all sorts of stuff, and bang. Right where we parked our car, do voodoo shit.
I know, we're looking for earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, because we were hungry and trying to scout to find the location, and I said, well, let's get just something to eat and then drive there, but bang on where we wanted it, was here.
Cool.